Okay, let's see. I got a new computer here too, so it's ideal. Kathy, I don't know if you want to try to text Shelley or something, make sure that she's going to be on time here. It's 1 after 10. Oh, spared. Okay. I don't hear anybody.
I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So
Oh,
is our whole.
Shelley's here. Hold on. I'll let her in.
Okay, let me check something here before she starts. This new computer doesn't have PowerPoint on it yet. I'm going to see if I can get these on.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
If I can just show them.
How is everybody today? Can you hear me okay?
Can you just fine?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Great. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt. Great. Let me know when you're all ready, and I'll share my screen here in just a second, and we'll get right into it.
Here, let me show a couple broker things quick.
Sure.
It'll just take me about 60 seconds. I'm
Okay.
going to see if I can share this screen. And then two screens. Well, here I don't really need to share if you guys can't see all this, but I have some stuff that the brokers are that the associations gave me. So I just thought I'd mention to everybody on this. I can post it on Facebook for everybody, but they're pointing out. Let's see. SPAR has been sending out a survey, and if anybody completes it, they can win some free membership. I guess maybe it's free MLS. So if you see the survey, you might want to fill it out for like half a minute instead of send it to junk. But they're also pointing out their safety tips this year. Once a year, they're always having safety month. So I guess they have some resources at the association. They're doing another charitable foundation with wine and networking on October 20th. So if anybody's interested in that, they can get a hold of SPAR. And then I guess they're just recognizing that National Night Out, they handed out a bunch of cases of water and stuff for team captains. So if anybody does that, remember your association has some resources for you if when that time comes around next year. Doesn't look like they have any other real updates here this month. I know everybody though trying to figure out if you see the forms update from the Minnesota Association, you probably want to look at that because it shows exactly what all the updates are on every single form, residential and commercial. So I figured I'd just point that out. Those all changed on August 1st, or maybe it needed to be implemented by today or something like that. So other agents might call you out and tell you that you don't have the right forms if you don't use the updated forms. So make sure you're downloading them off the internet if you write a new PA and stuff like that. Okay, I'll stop sharing because it didn't really share right anyways. And thanks, Shelley, for showing up.
Yeah,
This is going to be good because Shelley knows the product inside and out. So I'll mute myself.
Thank you for having me. Everyone can hear me okay? Is that yes? Give me a thumbs up or okay, great. My name is Shelley Hobbs. I am a customer success manager here with Lofty. I've been with Lofty for almost 4 years now. So I would definitely consider myself an expert. However, we are having feature updates every 3 weeks. So every 3 weeks, there's sometimes big new things that we're adding, and sometimes it's small little things. But I want to tell you that your usage of this and your experience and your opinion matters. And we actually have, and I'll show you when I share my screen here in a minute. We actually have a place where you can share a feature request. And I highly advise, since you are a new user, you have a fresh set of eyes, right? You have a perspective that we all don't have because we're here. I mean, obviously we have a product development team that has a lot of impact in taking into consideration how our users use the system. But as a fresh set of eyes, you have a new perspective on how this is used. And so if you see that there is something that needs to be added or should be added that highly impacts your business or even just a nice to have, I'm going to show you where to put that today because it really does matter. And so that said, just kind of a little bit about me. I have a 20-year background in email marketing and automations. It does not matter what your business is, what you're selling, what the price point is. I'm going to tell you right now, email marketing and continuous automated follow-up is literally the game changer to your business. And it goes like this. The money is in the list, but the fortune is in the follow-up. I have seen so many brokers and teams have like 30,000, 50,000 leads, and they don't do any follow-up beyond like 15 days. And I feel like I like lose my breath. I'm like, I'm gonna die. But actually, I think it's a great opportunity. I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. You're gonna get so much business by the end of the year if you do what I show you to do. So that's just my email marketing and automations background. Now you come into a system like we have with Lofty, which is basically your lead generation multi-million-dollar machine is what a lot of brokers that I work with call it. They're like, this is my multi-million-dollar machine, from generating leads and getting them into the system, from automating email, text, phone call reminder follow-ups, and continuing to nurture and drip on people in the life cycle phase that they're in with you. Right? It's like one lead isn't the same as everybody, but you can put them into pipelines like I'm going to show you today, and then start to categorize people based on where they are in their life cycle, and you can mass market to them. You can automate marketing to them. And then, of course, staying top of mind and staying in front of them gives you the opportunity to let them know you're still in business, to let them know how you are here and available to serve them, and catching them when it's right for them. Remember, lifes, as I like to say, right? Lifes, and life throws curveballs into people's lives, and they could have been ready last week to buy and sell a home, or buy or sell, whatever they're going to do. And then this week, maybe someone lost their job, right? That's not a priority anymore this week. The priority is getting a new job. But let's say they get a new job and now they're making even more. If you are still staying in front of them 2, 3, 4 months later, now they're ready. And now they're ready for maybe even more. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, this is the real true reality of what I see happen all the time. So this is why, like, the things that I'm going to show you today, what this is called is Make Money with Lofty. And so this is actually presented in an all like Lofty live weekly training from me and one of my colleagues. His name is Ernest. He is a broker and an agent. So we've put this together for you guys, from him being a broker and an agent, and me having the automations piece all put together, and knowing like, here's what you need. Here's where you need to focus within your Lofty in order to really expand and explode and grow your business, right? That's what you guys want, right? You want more time working with people who are ready to work with you. You want more leads where these automations can turn into conversations, and those conversations turn into you then taking it and working your magic, as I always like to say, right? You're an expert in what you do, and let the system do the rest. Let the system ease the burden of the continuous, oh, I forgot to follow up with so-and-so, right? I call it like no lead left behind kind of thing. So what I'm going to show you today is a high level, and we can continue doing trainings where we go a deeper dive on each of these topics. Okay. So I want you to feel like you don't have to get this all today, but what you're going to walk away with is knowing here are the places that I need to focus on in my Lofty system, because it's a lot, right? And which is great. You can do, it's an all-in-one piece, but you don't have to focus on everything. You just need to focus on these core things that I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So let's get into it. Before I share my screen, does anyone have any questions for me right off the bat? Anyone? By the way, I am tuning in from sunny Arizona. It is 88 degrees on a Tuesday morning, and I just can't wait until November. Can't wait until November. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. So here we go. And I'm going to bounce back and forth between my slide deck. You guys are welcome to take screenshots if you need to as well, and the Lofty system. I might have to jump into my Lofty demo system because it might have a little bit more, but right now I'm in kind of the main account. So this is our Make Money with Lofty. So first and foremost, one of the places that I want you guys to focus on, okay, is to go over to, whoops, hold on just a second, is to make sure that you have what I'm about to show you turned on. This is called marketing, and this is one of your first automations. So you're going to add this in today if you don't already have this. Marketing, go over to the left, and it's called auto property alerts. Okay, you want this turned on. I'm going to tell you why, because we're going to get into some filtered lists here in just a minute. So I know this might seem like, oh, why is this this is not a point and click training. This is here is exactly the 5 key places that you're going to need to focus on in your Lofty system. So when this is turned on, here's why this is important. You want to click the enable button. Okay. Then in the frequency, you want it to have daily. You want to choose 2, 3, 4 days a week, whatever suits your fancy. And then you want to set it to immediately. Here's why this matters. Number one, I want you to assume that you're going to be a lead generation machine. We actually have shirts at Lofty called lead generation machine. Okay. Because we have an internal digital marketing team that generates leads for clients. And, we have a lot of clients where their brokers generate leads for the agents, but I want you to imagine, like, what's your goals for generating leads on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? So you should start thinking like that, right? It's all in the numbers. Yes, this is a people business, but if you don't have leads, you're not going to have people to talk to, right? So the more leads you have, the more conversations you're going to get when you implement all of these things. So let's imagine a buyer gets into your system, whether it's through your website or another website. Okay. And they're a buyer and they have some sort of search criteria. They're going to immediately start getting an automated property alert, which is great. You don't have to go create one for them. They're going to automatically get it. Here's what happens. They get the email, they see it. What's consumer behavior? They click it to open it. They click on the link in there and they go back to your website. That is the behaviors we want to start creating. And there's a reason why, because we have automations based on behaviors. Okay, so we want to create behaviors. Now, let's assume that you get a hold of that lead at some point in time. You can always delete or change the automated property alert and create a customized one for them. Okay, so you still want them to have something right out of the gate, and that's what this is. This is very important to be turned on. I can't tell you how many agents I pop into their system and I see it off. And I'm going to show you a filter in your people page to be able to find all of your buyer leads without a property alert so that you can go start some conversations right away as well. Eventually, you should have no buyers without a property dealer is what it comes down to. Okay. But this ensures no buyer leads falling through the cracks without a property alert. Okay. So that's number one, first and foremost. There's a quick question in here. Let me go grab that. Yes, if anyone has a question, just pop it into the chat. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about. So now we're going to go into managing your database. This sounds very boring, but what I'm about to show you is it's like the reveal, right? It's like pulling the curtain back and you're actually able to see what you need to be looking at in your people page and managing your database, and then what you can do from it. So this is important. So we're going to go into the database. Okay. We're going to click on people. So I call this the bread and butter of your business, the people tab. Let me move my windows around here. Got a couple different screens. Okay. So first and foremost, let me just unpack what we're looking at for a minute and show you what's important. Okay. So this top filter right here, or this top row where it says all leads, my leads, lead pond, homeowners, all that, that's called filters. Okay. So that's filters. And over here to the right is also filters. We can create filters that stay up there at the top for things that you want to see all the time. So I want you to start thinking about, if I could wave a magic wand and see X from all of my leads, what would that be? And we can go create some filters. So we're going to create some today, but like kind of the sky's the limit. So I want you to start thinking about what would you want to see from a mass perspective. Okay. Next, the row underneath that is called pipelines. Who here, maybe raise your hand, chime into the chat, drop a 1 for yes, drop a 2 for no, if you've ever managed your leads through pipelines. Anyone? Let's see it. 1 for yes, I have, 2 for no, or just yes or no, either one. Okay. We've got a yes. We've got a no. Just want to see here. And I just want to tell you, most agents haven't. And I hope what I'm about to share with you today, like, blows your mind and expands your mind where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to not do this. Okay. All right. So I want you to imagine showing up to this page, which right now looks like a bunch of gibberish, and have you look at your pipelines, right? Let's say you're having a chat with Randy, right? And Randy's like, how's your business going, Mark? And you're like, you know what, Randy? I've got 5 new leads. I've got 300 in attempting contact. I've got 1,500 that are nurturing cold. I've got 27 that are warm, 3 that are hot, 2 that are appointment set, 1 appointment showing, 2 that are pending, 8 that are closed. To me, that excites me and makes me feel like I want more leads, right? That's what it should make you feel like, you guys, instead of kind of, and we're doing some database cleanup with Kathy and Randy here, but because when everyone imports leads, they're typically all in new leads. Okay. So if you've got all of your leads sitting in new leads, your brain is automatically, I don't even know where to start right now. Okay. So I'm going to tell you where to start today. And I'm going to show you how to create more conversations. That's what you want, right? You want more leads and you want more conversations from those leads. Okay. So in order to get more conversations, let me tell you this. There's a broker that I work with, and he has like 30,000 leads. They're all sitting in his new leads pipeline. We just started working together, and he's afraid to send emails because he's afraid people will unsubscribe. And I told him, when you send emails with the right value and education for who they are and where they are in your process, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to do this yet. But when I am, Mark's the guy I'm going to go to because I already feel like I'm learning so much from him. Does this make sense? I know this might be like a whole different mindset because you guys are awesome real estate agents, but guess what you also are? You're marketers. Believe it or not, you're going to have to add that you're gonna have to add a little tattoo on you that says I am a marketer. But you are a marketer, right? You want to build this know, like, and trust factor with people so they want to work with you. They know who you are and they know you're still in business. Matter of fact, my mortgage lender, who was a referral to me 8 years ago, she emails me every quarter. She emails me every holiday. And she just emailed me, and because I know and understand, I needed to turn my phone over. One little text distracted me. I was like, who is that? And what does that mean? That I know she's still in business. So when I need a refi or a mortgage or whatever, I'm going to go to her after 8 years. And I was a referral to her. So there's the power in automations, and she's doing a great job at it. Okay. So what I want to show you is this. So let's say you have all these leads. Okay. So I want to show you a filter over here to the right that is very important. Okay. We call this that you can actually start getting conversations going right now. So this is a filter that I'm going to encourage all of you have. And this, you're going to type this in. So you're going to do lead type equals buyer. Okay. And then you're going to do property alert. Property alert. Once you create this once, you'll never have to create it again. Okay. So we're going to create it once today. So we're going to go without a property alert. So you're saying, Lofty, oops, I don't know what's happening here. Lofty, give me all of my buyer leads without a property alert. Okay, so now we can go in here. And again, you guys have a newer system, so we're not judging anything here. Whoops, without a property alert. So you can see here, we have 2 filters on. Okay, so these are all of our buyer leads without a property alert. Now, if we had our pipelines cleaned up and organized that are true to the life cycle of the lead, then we could say, hey, we've got 5,061 leads in our new leads pipeline that do not have a property alert. Or we could say, let me go into my nurturing cold, because everyone thinks those leads are dead, and they're not. They just haven't been communicated to enough or properly. Okay, where we can say over here in these columns, right here. Okay, so we're just going to create this right here. And now we're going to add one more thing to it. Okay, because you're going to text. That's what you're going to text to these people every week. So we're going to add contact. Now, this is what's important to see who has a valid phone number. Have you ever wanted to know like who has a valid phone number so you can make phone calls and you're not wasting your time? Anyone? Okay, so we're going to click contact info, phone number with phone status valid. So it's been marked as a valid phone number through the system, and phone type mobile. Now you know they have a valid mobile phone number. They are a buyer without a property alert. Now here's what we're going to do. We are going to click on the bottom. We're going to click create view. Okay, we're going to say, this has a character limitation. So like buyer without, we could just say alert valid number. Now watch, I'm going to create it as private. If I create it as company, y'all will see it. Okay, so I'm just going to do company. So everyone will see it. That means you'll see your own leads, any company owned leads, everything. Okay, but you could do it as private. So confirm. But if I do it as company, you all should see it in yours. Give a refresh a couple times. So there it is. So an activity, a business activity you should be doing every Monday is what I'm about to show you. You're going to click on this, and you're just going to do this every Monday, and you're going to do it, say, by pipeline. Okay. So you could come in here and watch what I'm about to do with my mouse, just to the left of name. Okay. You could see here, when I hover over this little arrow, it says select current page. Or we could select all leads. I don't want you to select all leads because you're going to get people texting you back, and I don't want you to be overwhelmed. So you can see here down at the bottom, you could have 100 per page, or I think the default is 50 per page. Okay. So what you could do is, I'm going to do one more thing in here. Hold on a second. I'm going to add one more filter in here. I'm going to add in here last touch, so that way you don't touch these over and over again. Not contacted within the last 30 days. I'm going to create this new one. Buyers, no alert, valid number. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. There we go. Okay, so now you can be confident that what you're saying is, hey, Lofty, give me all of my buyer leads that don't have a property alert that I haven't contacted in the last 30 days. So that way you can keep going through this list, and that way Sharon she's not going to show up next week in your list. So let's just say we do 50-50. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hover over this and we're going to select the current page. Now look what happened up here on the top. What I'm showing you today, you guys, again, this isn't how to make money with Lofty, but I'm showing you how to create conversations, and your conversations create transactions. Okay. So this is one of the major ways our successful agents are using this system. I know this might look boring, but this is a money making trick that a lot of our successful agents are using. So now what you're going to do is you're going to click on mass text, because we know they have a valid phone number. Okay. So you have up to 200 texts a day. So you're going to click on mass text. And then here's what you're going to write. I actually have a little blurb that I can send to you guys. I call it a blurb. I think that's so old school, but so you're going to say like, hi. Now we're going to put in a variable. Okay. We're going to put in hi lead first name. I am creating a property alert for you right now. Are you still looking to buy a home in what area are you guys in again? I forget. Major area, major city. Sorry, I work with hundreds of accounts and I can't remember where everybody is all the time.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to say, wait, what city okay, so we're going to say Minneapolis. Okay. The reason why we're going to put that is because what we're looking for is responses. Am I right? We just want to connect with someone, right? And then you're going to work your magic as an agent. The reason why we're going to put the major city, so like for instance, you're going to put that, or I live in Phoenix. Okay. Now I live in a suburb way west of Phoenix. And if I were to put that, what someone is going to do is either reply back no, or not at all, or they're going to correct me and say, well, I'm actually looking in Peoria and Glendale. Great. Tell me a little bit more about that. Now I just got a response from this person. Does this make sense? This little blurb right here is working for a lot of agents. So this is why I wanted to share this with you guys. And then you just put, like your name and then, Lofty Realty. Okay. So that's what you're going to say, because you're trying to get a response back from them. So try out little things like that, but that's what you're trying to get is the response, because again, you haven't contacted them in 30 days. They're a buyer who doesn't have a property alert. So let's see what kind of communication we can get back from them. At some point in time, you'll blow through all of this list, which is great, but this is a great way right now to create conversations. Okay. So you can even create this as a template so you can bring your template in as well. Okay, so that's one of the first ones that we want to show you is managing your database and creating those conversations. Now, the other thing I want to share with you is like, what are pipelines, right? So every single lead that comes into your system, whether they're imported or you're doing lead generation with Lofty, or a lead comes in from some other source, realtor.com, Zillow, homes.com, wherever it is, or you add someone in from an open house. Every lead's journey starts here. Has anyone ever played like Chutes and Ladders or Candyland or anything like that with their kids, right? Or when you were a kid? Everybody starts at the same square. So here's another thing to be true. Every lead can only be in one pipeline at a time. Okay, so it's really important to look at your pipelines, designate a definition of time. How long do I want a new lead to stay in my new leads pipeline? How long do I want a lead to stay in my attempting contact? And then everyone ends up in the nurturing cold. It's like the Hoover Dam. If you've ever been to the Hoover Dam or any dam whatsoever, right? You just like, it all kind of backs up right there. Okay, everyone stays there until you get them out. This is like a game. You can look at it like a game. How am I going to get them out of this pipeline and get a conversation started? That's what you want. Okay, so you're going to do this activity every single week until you go through all of your buyers without a property alert. Eventually, and now because you have your auto property alerts turned on, this list will be blank, right? And you won't have anyone to talk to in this list. However, we're going to create another list. We're going to delete that one. And now you can create another one like that, but for sellers. And what should sellers have? Sellers should have a market report. So you can create that same criteria, but with sellers. Okay. So I'm not going to go through that just for sake of time, but again, when we click on this, I'm going to show you what those filters look like. Take a quick screenshot. Here's what it looks like. Lead type equals to buyer, property alert. Last touch, not contacted in the last 30 days. With the phone number, mobile, valid. Except for here, you just have seller. Okay, and then you're going to text them. Hey, I'm creating a market report for you. Are you still looking to sell your home this year? And are you also looking to buy as well? You just want to get that conversation going. Okay, so so those are the first two just right off the top that you can start generating conversation. Super important. The next thing that we want to talk about is our profiles and engagement. So when you go over to a lead, okay, and you are going, let's assume that David responded back to you right up here. Well, let me just show you over here on the left-hand side. This is, an insight. And the Lofty system is watching your lead's behavior and every move 24/7. So the more we can continue to get them to open emails, get them to go back over to your website and start looking for properties, saving properties, and viewing properties, the more they are going to show up as an opportunity. Okay, let me show you opportunities again. This is your dashboard. Okay, so your opportunities, look down here, today's opportunities. This could either be new leads that have high ranking criteria and behaviors, or older leads that have now come back alive, right? That are now showing interest. Why would they show interest? Because they're receiving automated smart plan emails from you, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, and automated property alerts. And also here, you're going to see your new leads. Okay, so you're going to see your new leads, your opportunities, and your tasks for the day. So let me show you. So when we go into a lead profile, so let's say that David Buyer replies back to you and you're going to create a property alert for him finally. This is great. Okay, so now you're going to come over here to this engagement section, okay, where it says engagement right here. And you can see he doesn't have anything. So you're going to, whoops. Oh, okay. I can't do it here because he doesn't have an email. So no email has been added to the lead. So let's say David, let's pretend like, okay, he does have a valid phone number, but he doesn't have an email. So you could go and text him again and say, hey, I don't have a valid, what's your best email that I can send this to? So that's an automatic. And then you get the email, you'd pop the email in here. You'd click on this and click on edit and add his email address in there. Okay. And then you would create that property alert there for him. Next, I want to show you guys our SEO branded websites. Actually, yeah. So right now, everybody has what's called a subdomain, an agent subdomain, which mirrors the company website, which is awesome, right? It comes with your system. It's free. It's a place for you to send leads to and capture your leads. Here's what they look like. Let me show you. And that's what you want to be doing. You want to get in the practice of sending your leads back to your website all of the time. So you have an opportunity to capture the lead. Okay. So when we go to the website, this is what it looks like. Okay. We're working on some other things here. I think redesigning a little bit of this. We've got I've got some things we're talking with Kathy and Randy about, but nonetheless, right, when you send someone here, they have all of these listings are pulling from the MLS. So the other thing that you get this at no cost, which is fantastic. But if you are an agent who already has an established brand, or you're wanting to establish your brand and really own your area, we have an option that's called a full agent SEO website, where you have full control of the design and all of the features and featured areas and download capabilities for that. Meaning within that, we've got these, let me see, under marketing, called landing pages. Okay, so let's say that you work in a specific area and you really want to dominate a certain area that you work in, right? You really want to niche down. You can create featured area landing pages specific to that area or neighborhood and be able to, now you can also do this without a full SEO website. But the reason why I mention a full SEO website, and it is an additional cost, but excuse me, oftentimes agents want to be able to fully brand themselves, and we want you to know that you have that opportunity to do that, and you just pay for that on your own. Okay. Or you just use the website that mirrors the company website, and you still have a great place to send people to. But these landing pages are super special because one of the things I see a lot of successful agents doing is creating a buyer's guide and a seller's guide. And so in their social media content, when they're marketing, once a week, when they're talking about buyers, they'll make a great social media post, market to their buyers, talk about, I don't know, top 10 things every buyer needs to know in today's market in Minneapolis. And then their call to action is download my buyer's guide today, right? And then they send them back to the website of the page with the buyer's guide. And what did you just do? You just created a lead, right? And now you've got this potential buyer lead. Potential, who knows? Who knows if they're really serious right now today or maybe a year from now. And now they're a lead in your Lofty system and they show up in your new leads tab. Okay. And then if they're a buyer, they're also going to, well, because they downloaded the buyer's guide, just kind of hang with me with this little cycle that we're creating here. They're going to get that automated property alert as well, just based on the area. Okay. It's very generic. So that's why you do also want to be reaching out to your buyers and say, hey, I would love to create a customized property alert for you. Remove all the fluff, only deliver you exactly what you're looking for. Okay, so it's another filtered list that you could create is who are all of my buyer leads with a property alert. And you could go see is this generic, or is this, do I have an ability to customize this for them? The other thing I wanted to share with you all is this AI sales assistant. This is a very powerful tool in which and as a matter of fact, so don't quote me on this because we have a new releasing this week. If you click on that little circle with the question mark, and you click on, well, first of all, remember when I said suggest a feature, you could click on this to suggest a feature. But the Lofty updates, we have a Lofty update coming soon. And we are going to be giving the AI Sales Assistant relaunch on August 25th. This will be available to everyone. Okay. And you are going to love the AI Sales Assistant. Here's what it does. It lives as a chatbot on the website and it talks to any lead. It's going to try and engage, nurture, and qualify any new lead and any current lead to continue to move that process along. And its job is to schedule a call with them, okay, to schedule an appointment with you, the agent, and then it hands it off to you. So I am actually still getting well-versed on this new launch. We just had a product meeting about it yesterday. So I have to say, I actually don't know because this used to be a paid add-on. So now you guys get it at no cost, I believe. So you might want to run through this real quick. I'll send it in the recap today. But again, you can find it in the updates in your CRM system. Okay. But the sales assistant not only lives as a chatbot on your website, which you want it. Okay. I have a fun story about it here in just a minute. And it also is a text message qualification. So it will send text messages to that lead to continue to engage, nurture, and qualify. So the AI sales assistant is a very powerful tool that really helps alleviate and eliminate the burden of you having to chase leads and letting the system continue to do that engaging, nurturing, and qualifying. Okay. Let me see here. I want to also come in. So we talked about lead management, right? And really utilizing this page and really utilizing pipeline management. I want to show you something else that's really cool. So this column or this row right here, this is called columns. Okay. And just so you know, pipelines cannot be customized at the agent level. This is customized at the broker owner level, whoever owns, right? So by Randy, who owns the Lofty system. So between he and Kathy and I, we're chatting about, what would be a good recommendation for pipelines. Once we decide that, we'll let you guys know as well. And then we're going to start moving leads around according to where they are in the process. So one of the things you guys can do as agents just right now is who's closed, right? In your leads. That's phase 1 of lead database organization. Go find all of your closed leads and move them into this pipeline. You can move them 2 ways. You can you can go search for a lead, right? And when you find them, their lead profile will pop up like this. And then what you're going to do, you're going to come over here to the left-hand side under pipeline, and you're going to move them. Okay. You're going to move them to the appropriate pipeline. If you're like, okay, David is a closed lead. So that's the first thing you're going to start doing. And the reason why we start there is because the smallest group of people is the easiest to manage. Okay. So anyone who's closed and pending, you're going to put them into those pipelines. Anyone who's showing an appointment set, put them into those pipelines. Anyone who is hot, put them into those pipelines. So all of these pipelines, you're going to know that's going to be the easiest for you to go find and add people in there. Now we're left with new leads, attempting contact, and nurturing cold, and warm. Okay. Warm should mean you've talked to them. Nurturing cold should mean never talked to them before. Yet. That's your 3-letter magic word. Yet. Okay. But when you do what I just showed you to do at the very beginning, you're going to have more conversations coming out of that. In addition to, I'm going to tell you about smart plans here in a minute. Okay. And I'll answer questions here in just a second. So then you're left with basically these 3. And here's my recommendation for the best way. And again, I'm going to meet with Kathy and Randy. We'll make a final decision kind of about what that will be, and then we'll let you guys know. But it kind of goes like this. This is what most people do. Most people keep new leads in their new leads pipeline for 24 hours. We're going to put a smart plan on them. So you don't have to text them or email them, but you will get a call reminder to call them. Okay. So you have 3 income producing activities. Income producing business activities. I said that backwards. And you only have to do 1 of them. Isn't that glorious already? We've just saved you time. That's what a lot of this system is about, saving you time to help you make more money. Okay. Because when you save time, you can get more leads in, right? You could get 20 leads a day and not be overwhelmed by the fact that you have to do all this stuff. Okay. But then they're automatically going to be moved over into attempting contact. Okay. And then we're going to keep them there for 30 days. And then after that, if there's no contact, you move them into nurturing cold. It's real simple like that. So that way you just start looking at your pipelines. You're like, boom, boom, boom. This is what's happening in my business. I know it all the time. Then you can better mass market to people. So if you're like, I'm going to mass market to all these people in my attempting contact today. I haven't gotten a hold of them yet, but I'm surely going to give it my best effort today, right? You could say, I'm going to select all 1,217. I'm going to send them a mass email right now today. You could do that, right? Or you could send them a mass text. Or watch what I'm about to do. You could say, of these people in that pipeline, who has the highest lead score? So a lead score is how the system scores a lead based on all of the information that they came in with and the behaviors that they're doing. Okay, I'm going to show you something else really quick. See this columns right here? Look over here to my mouse to the right where there's a grid, a little grid with a pencil. You can move these around. So agents, you can move these around. And here's how I recommend we put it into order. Lead score, when they registered, because look under here, you can see when they registered and where they came from. That's their source, Google, Facebook, website. Okay. Then we're going to put compared to when they registered, when did they last visit my website is what we want to know. Do they have a property alert? Do they have a smart plan? And actually, what are their activities? Okay, so I like to see it in this order. I'm going to tell you why. Lead score, when they registered, when was their last visit to my website? There's another filter I'm going to show you here in just a minute too. What were their activities when they went to the website? Do they have a smart plan? Do they have property alert? When was their last touch? So watch what I'm about to do. So now you could be like, let's check out these people in my nurturing cold pipeline. We think they're dead, but I'm going to tell you that they're not. So we're going to look at when someone registered. So let's sort by that. 1 month ago. Now I can tell you this from doing this long enough. When I see a last website visit as never, 9 times out of 10, there is no smart plan and there is no property alert, right? So this does have one. But nonetheless, that could only be, we have to go see. I think this is maybe fairly new on there. But it looks like this, right? So it makes sense. Oh, they've never visited my website because they don't have a smart plan. They don't have a property alert. There's zero automation and they've never heard from me. You're out of sight, out of mind as an agent. Our job is to show you how to stay top of mind. Okay. So that's why I showed you the automated property alerts today. So now that they'll at least start getting something. And we recommend 3-4 days a week to start. I would rather have someone unsubscribe who's truly not ready than stay in my database and never market to them and have all this potential. Okay. I can guarantee you, if you start communicating with these leads in your database, you'll have 3 to 5 serious people by the end of the year doing transactions, maybe even more. Okay, so that's one. The next thing I want to show you guys is this. Market. Oh, I wanted to show you something else really quick. Two more things. Very exciting. Okay, let's say that you do want to come in here and you're like, okay, I want to see who last visited my website. So 10 months ago in my cold leads pipeline, this person visited. We've got 5 filters on here anyways. So now what you can do, you can start to see like, well, what did they search for? Okay. So you can click here and click on what did they search for? For some reason, my system is being finicky. When you click on that little magnifying glass, all of their searches will come up. When you click on the eye, it'll show you, just refresh my screen. It'll show you what they viewed. Okay, so show you what they viewed. My goodness, it's not working for me. I have to restart my computer today. When you click on that, it'll show all the properties, what they viewed, how many times they viewed it, and down to the second, the minute, the hour, minute, and second that they viewed it. And then the star is anything that they saved. Now, here's another quick filter I want to share with you really quick. Then I'm going to move over to behavior-based smart plans. Okay, I know we only have a couple more minutes. So you want to go see last visit. You could say, show me people who visited my website in the last 7 days. Okay, that shows high intent, right? We didn't filter them by buyer or seller, but right now you could go into your nurturing cold and be like, boom, these are all of my, so I thought they were dead, nurturing cold leads that were actually back to my website in the last 3 days. Look when they visited last. Now I can tell you probably they have a property alert and the smart plan on. Absolutely. So good job, agents who are doing that. Okay. We can see here, Randy, Brandon, Andrew. Good job, you guys. Okay. That's why. So this would be a great opportunity. If you're going to do a call blitz, go make some phone calls. Okay. So do you see how these filters can really help you kind of really dial in so you can go make contact with people, right? That's what this is about, making contact. Then last thing I want to share with you before I jump into the comment section really quick, the questions are these smart plans. And these are smart plans that we highly recommend. I'm going to give you 5 off the top of my head that you can walk away with today. We'll dive more in the Lofty Library and smart plans in the future, but today I'm going to show you to go to behavior-based, and you're going to choose these 4 plus 1 more. You're going to choose buyer back to website, viewed a listing 3 or more times. You can screenshot this, you guys. Home evaluation, request to sell, and requested a showing. Okay. There's 1 more you're going to select, and that's this one down here called buyer lead behavior saved a listing. You're going to import those and add those into your My Smart Plans section. Okay. And here's what's going to happen. When this kind of lead, a buyer goes back to your website after 30 days, this is what's going to happen. It's going to wait 10 minutes and then send them an automated email. At the same time, it will send them an automated text. And then it's going to send you a notification to call them. Then if you don't hear from them, don't make any contact. It's going to wait a day. Send another automated email, another automated text. If not then it will wait 14 days and then it's over. Now, these templates are fully customizable, and we'll learn that in our future trainings together. But here's why these are important. This is responsive immediately based on the behaviors that they're having. In this business, it's speed to lead, is it not? Right? So that's why it stays in front of them. It continues to nurture them, and it notifies you of what is happening and what to do next, while it also takes care of the other things automatically. Okay, so those are just some high level you can do and incorporate right now to help you make more money with Lofty, because ultimately this is creating more conversations for you, right? Houses don't sell them home. Houses and transactions don't happen themselves. You have to insert yourself into it. And that's how Lofty is going to be able to help you do that. So let me jump right into, let me see. Okay. There's a lot of questions. This is awesome, you guys. Let me see if I can get through these all in time. Okay. Okay. And also, so I think we've got 26 people on here as well, right? Wondering like, how many people on here actually use Lofty, right, on a daily basis? And so what I have for you is a nice little checklist that I'm going to share with you here. I'm going to send this over to Kathy to send to you all. And this is a daily checklist you're going to get to walk through every single day. I don't know about you, but I'm a checklist kind of girl. I want to know, tell me what to do, how to do it. And you're going to log into your Lofty at least once a day for 20 minutes, preferably twice, once in the morning, once in the late afternoon, evening, 20 minutes a day. And these are your daily must to do's. Okay. You're going to log in. You're going to go through your dashboard, check out your new leads, your opportunities, your tasks. You're going to send at least 3 follow-ups to hot leads. You're going to update your leads in your pipeline stages. That's why we talked about pipelines so much today. Okay. And then you've got your weekly must-dos. We just talked about, we spent a lot of time on that people page and database management, but you know what we like to call it is lead CPR. Okay, let's revive those leads and get some convos going. I call it gold mining in your database. There is money sitting in there and you need to know it. And I don't mean to just say it like that, like, you know, people are money, but you have to talk to the people in order to get the conversation, in order to create the transactions, which helps you make more money, right? That's what it comes down to. So that was lead CPR that we just did in your database, and you can be doing that once a week. Okay, so I'm going to send this to Kathy so she can send it out to you guys. And this will give you your what to do every day. So when we come back and we meet again, we're going to go through this list again. But I wanted to show you that real high level of the things that are really important in your database that are going to help you start conversations that can help you make more money. Really quickly, let me answer a few other questions. And if you're not using Lofty, I encourage you to get in there, start using it. I have seen this system, again, being here almost 4 years, completely change the face of someone's business. We had an agent come in. She's brand new to real estate, brand new to everything, right? Which is so great because you're so like coachable and teachable. Then you don't know anything to confuse your brain with anything else. She started using our Lofty lead generation, which is something I'm going to talk to you guys about in one of our next trainings. She started doing our zip code blast to just generate more buyer leads. So she had buyer leads coming in on a weekly basis, right? It was like 10 to 12 buyer leads on a weekly basis. She had her auto property alerts turned on. She had her behavior smart plans implemented, plus a few other smart plans. She had these filters, and she was able to regularly, automatically communicate with all of these leads and then know who to make phone calls to. And eventually, in her first month, ended up getting a new client who a couple months later closed on an $800,000 transaction. And I love that story because she just followed the system. She just kept it simple, and she kept automation at the top of her priority list, right? Let me see here. Does account for all contact property? There is a question Brian asked here. Does account for all contact, including property alert emails? I don't know if I understand that.
That was back when you were doing the filters.
Yes.
So when you click on no contact in the last 30 days, does that take into account emails as well, or just text and phone calls?
No contact in general.
So if you email them a property alert, then they're not going to show up on that list.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
No contact for 30 days. Yes.
Is there a way to filter around that? Because I've got a lot of mine set up on like monthly updates, like the nurturing leads.
So, are you saying that you want to go further than 90 days or 30 days?
Well, if they're getting an engagement, like a market report every month, then they're not going to get a text from me because it's not going to show up through that filter. Is there a way to ask it to just show you people you haven't texted in the past 30 days?
Let me see here. Let's go back into people.
I didn't even know you could filter that hard on there. And I've been using this for 4 years. This is great.
Yeah, if you guys have, if you want to do like a special like filter mastermind, I would love to do that with those of you who are heavily using this and you want more like hands-on help and assistance. It's not something that we actually normally do, but I am such an advocate of I want to see who are the champions on your team who are using this and who wants to use it better. And I will help you do that because it's like you don't know what you don't know, and I know what you need to know. So like if you guys want to get together for, a special 30-minute session, we could certainly do that. I would love to do that. I just love to hear that you're in here like trying to heavily use it. Like that says a lot to me. I'm like, all right, great. Let me show you how to really, really use it, right? Like what do you want to know that I could show you how to do? So,
even the automated property alerts, I always thought it was set up and I didn't know that it wasn't on.
oh, see, that's why I lead with that one first, because people are always like, this seems like a no-brainer. Well, it does, but a lot of people don't do it. So here we are, phone number with, so we've got, again, we want to see valid. We wanted
yeah, because if you're sending them like
last
property
touch.
alerts, if they're getting a property alert from you, is that going to count as a touch? And then because you still might want to text them,
it does count as a touch.
Okay.
So that's why you could customize your time, right? So you could say if they're getting a property alert, and they're probably getting one once a week. So what are you trying to?
So I guess maybe could we filter it by, is there a way to filter it by have not been texted in the past 30 days?
Okay.
That.
Right. So last touch. So we could do contact info. Yeah, there is. Hold on a second. Let me remember where this is. Last contact.
Because if they're getting the property alerts and they're not responding, you're missing out on them because then you're not sending them a text on those monthly outreaches.
Correct. Right. Okay. So I know that it's in here. I just have to kind of go through this, and let me just write this down, Brian.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, if there is a way, I'll look too, now that I know that exists.
Yeah, there is. Sometimes I have to like sit down and think about it for a second, like where is it in the filters? But I think it's a communication type.
Okay.
Oh, if I put in texts. So you're saying text not sent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying with a property alert. So give me my leads with a property alert, right? That haven't been texted. Is kind of what we're looking for. Hold on a second. This is being finicky with me. We still want them with a valid phone number. If we put in alert, so show me my leads with a property alert who have not been texted. Text, calls, emails received, texts received.
Text sent.
Texts sent between. So more than, I think that says more than, maybe that's giving us what we want. Give me people with a property alert. I have a valid phone number. Texts have been sent more than 30 days. So, and then we just put in buyer. I think that's would give you what you're looking for.
Well, that's good. As long as I know I can filter through, I'll try to figure it out too. But yeah. That's
okay. All right, you guys. I actually have to hop off. I have another call here really quickly, and I would love to meet with you all again as soon as you like. For those who are using Lofty, and you are using it on a daily, regular basis, and you want to do like an inner circle, mastermind of like 30 minutes of like, what do you want to know? Or I want to know, how are you using it? And how can I help you level up how you're using it? That's what I'm here for, right? I'm here to help Randy and help his team. And so those of you who aren't using Lofty, you'll see in the chat there, Randy has a great opportunity to help you get started with Lofty. You're going to get, we're going to take you through an onboarding. There's an onboarding that you guys can go through. And then you'll have me to help walk you guys through here. I think we're going to meet like maybe at least every month, every other week, something like that, to kind of, and until you get your wings, right? Until you can get your wings and you feel really confident. And I've got that to-do list for you. here's the thing. It's easy to do, easy not to do. What's your business going to be like a year from now if you don't use this and incorporate automation into your business? And I know all new things are hard, but they're only hard because we're adults, right? And we're so stubborn about learning sometimes. And you just have to dedicate. Like I said, get your lofty reps in every day. My daughter plays club volleyball and she practices 2.5 hours, 5 days a week. That is hardcore, right? If you just put 20 minutes a day in here and you go through this to-do list and you're like, all right, I'm getting in my lofty reps. I'm learning how to do this through being in it every day. Soon enough, you're going to learn how it's going to start working for you and creating more time for you, more conversations, and truly helping you make more money in your business. So I love this system. I'm literally geeky obsessed with it. I've seen it change so many agents' lives, and it won't take you long to learn just the few things that you need to focus on. Okay. You don't need to focus on everything, just these few core things that I showed you today, and just a few more on top of that. So I look forward to meeting with everybody again. I'm going to ask Kathy for like kind of the champion users in the system right now. I'd love to work with you and help you how to really level this up, and let's show everyone how powerful the system can be together. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Shelley.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. Have a good day and happy selling.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Great day.
Kathy, are you still there? Kathy, can you check to see if Jeremy was ever able to put me into the Lofty system? Because I'd been with them on the other company. I never got any confirmation to go over under NRG. Anyway, I can't hear you if you're talking. Your mic is off.
Sherry, are you there? This is Jeremy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I thought I already replied to that email. Sorry. I've already spoken to a representative, and apparently you will have to unsubscribe with your previous broker, and then we can only, add you to our team.
Oh, so I need to call them directly myself.
Yeah, unfortunately. There's no way from my end to do that as well as the representative, so it would have to be through them, your previous broker.
Okay, so I think I have Lofty's number unless it's changed. Is there a number that you recommend I use?
For Lofty,
Yeah.
I directly chat them. It's easier for me that way.
Okay.
If you can, browse. It's just in the upper right hand of the interface, and you can just chat your way, through them.
Okay. All right. I won't take anybody's time. I'll work on that then. Thank you, Jeremy.
Yep, no problem. Let me know, Sherry, after. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.